Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.
I would like I'd like to call to order the meeting of the City of Neenah Common Council for Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. I'd like to welcome everyone here. The first item of business tonight will be the roll call. All members will punch in on the roll call machine and answer the clerk when your name is called, please.
Alderman Boyette. Alderman Bates.
Here.
Alderman Hillstrom.
Here.
Alderman Lendrum.
Here.
Alderman Erickson.
Here.
Alderman Lang.
Here.
Alderman Steele.
Here.
Alderman Coons.
Here.
And Alderman Stevenson.
Here. There is a quorum present. Like the record show, Alderman Boyette called me about an hour ago and 5 o'clock. They're not feeling well, so she will not be here tonight. So we'll mark her as excused, please. So there's a quorum present. The next item of business, we'd ask you to join us, please, in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
All right. Tonight, we're going to start off tonight. We've got an exciting night. We have a presentation of a citation from the mayor and the city council. I will turn the gavel over for a bit to Council President Stevenson, and I'll ask Amy Barker to join me down by the podium. Well, thank you very much, and we just wanted to take a moment tonight. It's a pretty exciting night for us, and I think also for Director Barker from Future Neenah. We have been very fortunate in this community for the last 8 years to have someone who led this private organization called Future Neenah and the partnership that we've had with the city of Neenah. I've been here a long time. I've seen this organization grow, but under Amy's leadership, a lot was done. And when I talk to people and ask for accomplishments and things that we've done, it's quite a list, and it would not all fit on one little citation. So we picked and choose a few things to highlight tonight. But Amy, we want to thank you for the 8 years of your hard work and dedication to this community, to Future Neenah, to the city, and all the great things that happened under your leadership, and all the fun things that happened, and all the times at Shattuck Park, and all the enjoyable concerts, and all the things that helped make Neenah great. We also are so lucky to have an organization and a leader who understands economic development and understands the importance of having a good downtown and a vibrant downtown. We are, in a lot of communities, we're the envy of the downtowns because we have a downtown that is very low vacancy rate, quite unique. People come to shop. We have very low turnover, and when we do have turnover, the shops seem to fill up quickly. we have quite a nice selection, but I attended a lot of meetings as mayor, and I can tell you, Amy was always on top of things and always looking out and how we can do better, what we can do better, and how we can make this place a better downtown, a better community, a better place to live, work, and play. We have about, it's estimated, 12,000 people come downtown Neenah, within 1 square mile downtown Neenah, to work every day. And so we got a little leg up on a lot of communities because we're importing all these people to work in our downtown. But you've done a great job in leading the organization. We want to wish you all the best in the future. And because of that, we have a citation of recognition from the city of Neenah that reads, whereas the grateful citizens of Neenah honor Amy Barker for her 8 years of service as the Executive Director of Future Neenah, Inc. And whereas Future Neenah is a community-driven, nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the economic and cultural vitality of the greater Neenah area, and whereas the community has benefited from the dedication and commitment to many initiatives that Amy guided during her tenure. In 2014, completed reconstruction of Future Neenah office to better serve the community, maintaining the historical nature of the building. The brand new and updated Future Neenah website was launched. Neenah and Menasha, in 2015, Neenah and Menasha councils agreed to move forward with the Navigate Neenah Menasha Trestle project. In 2016, we cut the ribbon on the new bike parking patio in the downtown with very unique fabricated bike racks in the shapes of waves, family, guitars, and sails. And in 2017, we celebrated 25 years of Farmers Market, hosted the second annual Farm to Table event, added music to Shattuck Park concert series every Wednesday, and we continue to raise funds towards the Loop the Lake Trestle project, including a Taste of the Trestle event, which I think was rained out, wasn't it? Or
it was indoors.
Bad weather, yeah. Amy led the Loop the Lake groundbreaking on November 3rd, 2017. She was the main person responsible for leading the fundraising effort that raised over $1 million towards the Loop the Lake project. And in 2018, Future Neenah celebrated their 35th we celebrated the 35th anniversary and added a new event to celebrate a community icon, Neenah Foundry, the Manhole Cover Madness, the Cut and Run event to celebrate the Trestle Trail Bridge completion on June 23rd, 2018 was also held. So the list goes on and on of things that Amy had her hand in. So whereas Amy was also the recipient of the Outstanding Fundraising Professional of the Year Award in November 2016 by the Association of Fundraising Professionals for her quality leadership and her commitment to fundraising, the City of Neenah would like to further recognize Amy for all of her hard work. She certainly leaves the community in a much better place. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Dean Coffert, Mayor of the City of Neenah, along with the City Council, do hereby issue this citation of recognition to Amy Barker and wish her well in the future. Congratulations, Amy, and thank you. Want to say a few words?
Sure. I can't think of a better community to have dedicated my time and energy to. And the good news or bad news, depending on your perspective, I guess, is that I still live here and I'm not going anywhere. And I can certainly serve on committees, although I'm not going to readily volunteer for the Garbage Task Force. Sorry, Jerry. So that might not be the first one, but certainly if you have needs, passion for community is not an on-off switch, and this is my first venture out of the nonprofit sector after 25 years. So it's going to be interesting because that desire to serve community doesn't go away. So thankfully for you, I'll be able to continue to dedicate time in new ways and see our community progress in the future. Future Neenah is in a much better place than it was 8 years ago. I think I saw it at both its best and worst, and thankfully now is that time it is at its best. So I leave behind a strong organization, and as it becomes, as we bring on new leadership, I will certainly be helping with that transition. So thank you for your partnership and your collaboration and the many things and many plans for our future that I've talked to you, each of you about. I can think of times that we've worked together, and I'm very thankful that I had that opportunity. Good night.
Thank you very much. You can see by the supporting cast, Amy surrounded herself with a great supporting cast of family and friends and hard workers in Future Neenah, and people who really went the extra mile. A lot of the board is here to say thank you, so we thank you for coming too. But I think it's a testament to the great job that you did for the citizens of Neenah. So thank you very much.
We'll have volunteers.
All right. Anyone else? If not, we are going to take a 5 to 7 minute break and enjoy some cake. And thank Amy and celebrate her years with us. So we're going to break for about 5 to 7 minutes, okay? Thank you.
Understood education.
I would like to call the Common Council meeting back to order. Once again, we'd like to thank Amy Barker for her service as Future Neenah. With Future Neenah, and wish her well. So the next item of business is a couple confirmation of some mayor's appointments. Item number A is Mayor Crawford's reappointment of Lisa Hamas on the Neenah Harbor Committee for a 3-year term that expires October 2021. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion by Alderman Bates,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Lundrum, to reappoint Lisa Hamas on the Neenah Harbor Commission. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor will vote aye. All opposed will vote no. That motion passes 8-0. 8-0. Item number B, Mayor Crawford's appointment of George Brunell from Associated Bank to fill the unexpired term of Keith Peters on the Business Improvement District Board, the BID Board. This term will expire December 2019.
I'll move to approve the mayor's recommended appointment.
Alderman Stevenson moves.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Lundrum to appoint George Brunell to the BID Board. Any discussion? If not, all in favor will vote aye. All opposed will vote no using the roll call machine, please. Motion passes 8-0. I do apologize. Joining us tonight, we have Pam Captain from Menasha, acting as our city attorney. So, while our two are at a conference, so welcome once again. Item number 3 is approval of the council proceedings of October 3rd, 2018 regular session. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
There's a motion by Alderman Lundrum.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Hillstrom to approve the proceedings of October 3rd, 2018 regular session. Is there any discussion, correction, addition, or comments? Being none, all in favor will vote aye. All opposed will vote no using the roll call machine. Motion passes 8-0. There are no public hearings, no plan commission reports. Item number 6 is a public forum. Public forum is an opportunity for any citizen or anyone to address the council on any topic that they would like. Is there anyone here who would like to address the council tonight during the public forum section of the agenda? All right, nobody? No one's here? Okay, we will close the public forum. Item number 7, there's no consideration of any of those items. Number 8 is consent agenda. There is no consent agenda. Item number 9 is the report of standing committees and consideration thereof. The regular Public Service Safety Committee meeting was canceled for October 9th. Item number B is a special Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of October 17th, 2018. Chairperson Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number one, consideration of committee recommendation regarding 2019 health and dental insurance proposal. And I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson, seconded by,
I need a motion.
oh, yeah, got to put her in there. Tammy, Alderman Erickson moves,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Stevenson. Any discussion or questions?
I would like to ask Director Barber.
Okay,
Director Barber. there she
Director
is.
Barber, you want to come up?
Come up and explain this to the council.
All right. For health insurance for 2019, we are looking to move to a new provider. We're currently with Wisconsin counties. However, the bid that they presented us was not competitive. We received a lower rate that'll save about $100,000 from Robin Health Partners. So we are hoping to move to them. Dental insurance is going well. There are no recommended changes to the dental insurance.
Anything else? Anyone else have any comments or questions? Okay. Good, thank you. Yeah, we had, how many different people bid on this?
Six-ish?
There were 6 bids, so we had a lot of bids, and this was the low bid, and we learned that it's an offshoot of somehow affiliated, we believe, with Theta Care. So we're pleased with the direction, and not much is going to change for the employee. So we'll have it for this upcoming year. Anyone else? If not, good. There's a motion and a second to approve the committee's recommendation regarding the 2019 health and dental insurance program. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor will vote aye. Go ahead, Alderman Bates.
I don't think it was actually specified what the recommendation was. They just said the recommendation. So the recommendation was to approve?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Recommend,
A little bit of Robin Hill.
approve the low bid of Robin Health for the health and dental plan, or health plan. Dental is separate. Okay. All in favor will vote aye. All opposed will vote no using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
Item number 2, consideration of committee recommendation regarding employee health clinic partners allowing WS Packaging and/or Winnebago County to join our employee health clinic. And I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson, seconded by Alderman Coons.
That,
Discussion. Director Barber, would you like to give us a Reader's Digest version of this?
Sure. The city currently has its employee clinic, and we have no partners, but we do have capability and availability at the clinic, and 2 interested parties that will help save. President Stevenson did the math, and it's actually going to save 50% of the cost of the clinic by joining with these 2 partners. So I think it's a good move for us, a way to save money for the taxpayers. It's also going to result in being able to offer additional hours for all of our employees, so it's a win-win.
Alderman Bates?
Thank you, Mayor. When we're talking about some of these things and looking into the future with perhaps expanding, we wouldn't have any conflict with voting or anything at that station. Do we not have voting on, or not have the clinic open on those days?
Patty just tells me the dates that we close the clinic.
Thank you. Hour.
Anyone else on this topic? Seeing none, there's been a motion and a second recommend, take the recommendation from finance and approve the partnership with with regards to the employee health clinic and allow WS Packaging and/or Winnebago County to join our employee health clinic.
Yeah, just a follow-up on that. The actual recommendation of committee is to approve the concept and ask Heather and the city attorney to create a working document contractual obligation for all parties.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
The terms of the contract were discussed in committee. The dollars, you just need to formalize it so they have something to sign.
Okay. All right. All in favor of that motion will vote aye. All opposed will vote no using the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0. Thank you.
Item number C, the regular reporting out from the regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of October 8th, 2018. Minutes can be found on the city website. Item number 1, the committee recommends council approve all 8 action items related to the updated salary plan as listed in the minutes and incorporated into resolution number 2018-23 drafted by the City Attorney Godlewski. And I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Stevenson. Comments or questions? Discussion? Alderman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. Before the meeting, I did get a text from Alderman Boyette saying in action items 8, which is non-council reporting departments, and I believe I asked this in committee, but she said she wanted it to be in the record that the non-reporting committees are, or departments are water and library. So, spell them out is what she said.
I got that too.
All right, thank you. Are there any other comments, questions? All right. So there's a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion will vote aye. All opposed will vote no. Using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
Item number 2, the committee recommends council authorize staff to move forward with the purchase of 122 West Peckham Street for a cost not to exceed $15,000, including CDBG funds. And I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Coons. Any discussion on this item? Alderman Erickson?
I would like to ask Director Hayes to explain this purchase.
Okay, thank you, Director Hayes.
So this is a landlocked remnant piece of property adjacent directly west of the Harns property that we acquired a year ago. The initial intent would be to utilize this real estate in addition to other remnant parcels that we're pursuing to assemble those properties for us, I would say a relatively small stormwater pond to help meet our stormwater needs.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, all in favor will vote aye. All opposed will vote no using the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0. Thank you very much for your report. Reports of any special committees, liaisons, regular plan commission meeting of October 9th, 2018. Alderman Lang.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting from that meeting held on October 9th. The minutes can be found on the city's website. There's one item. Committee recommends council adopt ordinance number 2018-16, project plan approval number 1-18 for West Side Business Development District to allow the construction of a car wash at 1190 West Town Drive. And I would so move.
Alderman Lang moves.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Hillstrom to adopt ordinance number 2018-16, project plan approval number 1-18 for the West Side Business Development District to allow for construction of the car wash. on Westtown Drive. Alderman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. I see that the hours close, or the car wash closes at 8, something like that. I was wondering what the situation of the overhead lights, because I do notice that the driveways kind of go close to the residences behind it, and even though it might be closed, if those lights are still kind of washing over their backyards.
You did ask that question, and we'll have Brad come up and.
Yes. So are you referring to the lights on the where they pay in the rear of the property?
Yeah.
My understanding is that the only exterior lights they're going to have are wall packs on the building. There are no freestanding lights on the site.
Thank you. And should they have any situation where, even if they're on the building and they just like are blaring into somebody's bedroom window, because I think you said that they're hitting up against the buffer zone. Is that something they can tell us, and we could kind of work with the owner to aim them down or something if necessary?
Yeah, we can. But in this situation with the residential property to the south here, we did require a 6-foot fence and additional landscaping to avoid that situation.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for the question. Yeah, there's additional landscaping, fencing. And then in addition, they did mention that day that when they close, they're going to turn the power off to the vacuums. They don't expect the lights. That'll help. Okay? Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no on the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0. Thank you very much for your report. The Board of Public Works meeting of October 9th, 2018. Vice Chairperson Hillstrom.
Thank you, Mayor. The minutes from this meeting can be found on the city website. There's one informational item and one council action item this evening. The first informational item is the board approved pay request number 1 for Washington Park Phase 2 in the amount of $56,092.27 to R&R Wash Materials Ripon. The council action item is the board recommends council approve final payment for contract 4-18 epoxy pavement marking, the Guidelines Pavement Marking LLC Rio for $13,502.43, and I would so move.
Alderman Hillstrom moves.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Lundrum. We approve the final payment for contract 418 with regards to epoxy pavement marking. Guidelines pavement marking, $13,543. Any discussion or comments? Questions? Alderman Bates?
Thank you, Mayor. I did have a question. I was doing the roundabout on the south side, Bell Street, and some of the markings along some of the curves there are wearing away. Is that our responsibility or the county?
The roundabouts at the interchange ramps are the county's responsibility. The frontage roads are ours.
All right, so if I gave your office a call and had them check something out, because I think the ones that are going around are very important to have those lines, because if you start weaving, that's a dangerous.
Yes, I would agree.
I'll give you a call because I'm not sure I remember which ones they were.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, all in favor of the motion, vote aye. All opposed will vote no, using the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0.
That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you for your report. Item number C, is there any update from the CDA, Director Hayes?
Just very quickly, the CDA continues to work on several projects, potential projects in the downtown. We have a couple demolitions that are scheduled, one that's underway in the Martin Street neighborhood. Siding, the asbestos has been taken off the building, and we're awaiting the gas company. If they're out there listening, they could move along a little quicker. And lastly, I expect that in cooperation and collaboration, I'll use that word even though I don't like it, with our Public Works Department, we expect to have a recommendation to our Finance Committee here in the very near future regarding the Neenah Foundry property. So we're hopeful to move forward with that soon. So I think that's what we have for now.
Any questions or anything for Director Hayes on CDA activity? Seeing none. Item number D is a report from the Library Board. Alderman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Library Board met today at 4 o'clock, and there are a variety of programs that are available throughout the day, and I would like to encourage everybody to visit the Neenah Library Board website. The Neenah Library has just concluded their book festival. I was at the library on Sunday, and the library was, I don't know how to put it, but was really hopping with people. There were tons of people visiting the library, and I talked to Director Rob, and she said that Sunday is one of the busiest days at the library, and it was just amazing to me how many families were there, how many people were there for programming on a Sunday. It was a very, very popular place to be. So I encourage everybody, if you haven't had a chance to visit the Neenah Public Library website, please do so. There's a great opportunity for programming, and there's also the opportunity to check out books, get books online. So please visit the website for all of that additional information. And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Probably no Packer game or Brewers game on Sunday probably helped.
It was amazing how many people were there. Just amazing.
All right. Thank you for your report. We also have the Neenah Arts Council report. Alderman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Arts Council met last week, and we are in the process of planning our second annual Celebrate the Season event, which will be December 8th, the Saturday after the very Merry Christmas event downtown Neenah. And this year we will have an international theme. So there will be a variety of venues that are going to have an international twist to them, which would include crafts, music, some type of treat. So we are working on that schedule, and that is in the process, and we will get that out as soon as we have everything finalized on that. But mark your calendars for December 8th from 10 until noon. And that concludes my report.
Thank you for the report. Item number 11 is a presentation of petitions. There are none. Any council directives anyone would like to explore, talk about? Item number 13 is unfinished business. Go to Alderman Lundrum first.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be emailing the Finance Chair, Alderman Erickson, to see if I can change the wording of my comments reflected in the minutes that were already approved for October 8th on the transportation fee. I want to be very specific that I was against the 5-year waiver for the transportation fee and in favor of the 10-year. I just wanted to be more specific. The minutes just says I want to discuss other options. So I just wanted to be more clear.
Thank you.
Okay. Alderman Coons.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not sure if this is unfinished business or new business, but I'm curious for a little update on garbage collection. When I'm driving around, I saw, first of all, people putting their new cans out before they should have, and people putting the recycling out when they shouldn't have. And I got to imagine it's been a bit of a challenge. So I'm just curious how everyone's holding up over there at Public Works.
Well, those people at home, just to give you an idea, Jerry had a full head of hair last week, and the garbage rollout came out. And Jerry, how's it going?
Some parts of it have been a challenge. Part of it with the cart delivery, the mail issue certainly did not help us there. We've come across a number of properties that for some reason or other mysteriously did not get carts, and so we are working through a list of call-ins and things that we've noticed to get everybody what they need. Collection has gone well with the crews. Currently we're running 3 trucks on refuse and 2 on recycling. Eventually we want to be able to dial that back as they get more proficient, but the crews have been performing well. We have run into some issues with cart placement. The biggest issue that we've seen is putting the carts right next to each other, not allowing enough space between carts. The proper day for recycling is something that people will be learning over the next couple of weeks, because we did see a fair number of recycling carts out in areas that do not get recycling collection this week. So those are all things that we will be learning and we'll be working through over the next couple of months.
Are you still at 200 phone calls a day?
I have not asked Judy this week what her call count is. Last week we were in the 150 range a day, yeah.
In my office, getting quite a few also. Lots of questions, lots of uncertainty. Like Jerry said, the mail, losing those survey cards didn't help. People wanting different carts for a variety of reasons. Some of them just fess up and say, you know what, now that I see him, I picked the wrong one. Some of them say I sent in my card, didn't get it. There were a few that were actually delivered wrong, I understand. So I've talked to Greg. The biggest single issue, and I drove around the entire city Monday morning and that. And I'm going to ride with them either tomorrow, Friday, I believe. The biggest issue is the spacing. So if folks are watching this when it's on TV, you have to have some distance between the carts because this arm comes out, opens up, the claws opens up, goes around the cart. So if you have them right next to each other, it just does not work. If you have them too close to a telephone pole, it does not work. One of the things that it is amazing is the length that it can go out is what?
We have a 12-foot arm on them.
12-foot arm. So there was some concern, and I've talked to a driver or two that, you know, if there's a car parked, they don't have to pull up next to the curb because if they can still be in the lane of traffic, so to speak, that arm can go out and reach it and still bring it back. It takes a second. So that's a problem. The every other week, there are some concerns, and I think maybe the council received one or two emails with me. I have answered a couple of those on our behalf. There were some concerns that one can for recycling would not be enough. Barry and I are having some discussions on bringing something to the council about the cost of an extra can, whether someone would want one for garbage or recycling. I don't want to get too far in the weeds here, but there is some interest, correct to say that, Jerry, in having some additional cans. Some people.
From some residents and non-residential property, there is interest in additional carts. We just getting off the ground on this are trying to be very mindful of potential equipment and workload aspects to expanding things too much right now.
And then Jerry's going to want me to hesitate about this, but we're also getting a very limited number of stories from folks who are either disabled or have special needs that are asking for our assistance or to potentially make. We are looking at what other communities do in that regard. Clearly, we don't want to develop a program that everyone, wants an accommodation, but there are a couple limited stories in the community where it just might be very big hardship to get that out there. So we'll see what happens. There are instructions. Some people, as I understand it, did not get their instructions with their cart. They either blew off, fell off, or didn't get it. There are instructions in the lobby, in the clerk's office, I believe, and there are instructions on the website. So direct people to the website if they didn't get their instructions. The only other thing I guess I would say is the lid needs to be down, closed. Saw a couple today, and I don't know. I've asked the Jerry. I've asked the superintendent, assistant superintendent, these first couple of weeks to use kid gloves and not just drive by people that aren't doing things correctly. To get out of the truck, tag them. So if people are at home, get a tag. It's to try and help you understand what you need to do differently for the next time. But we're willing to much as we need to learn the process, they need to learn the process, and so we're going to hopefully accommodate everyone. And I would, the only other thing Greg mentioned, besides the spacing, that was the most important thing, was preferable that the wheels be towards the sidewalk. So they can pick them up backwards, or not. So the wheels should be towards the curb, or towards the sidewalk.
Yeah, towards the house or towards the sidewalk.
The lid opens up this way. Yes. So those are the things that I was told with regards to it, but it's going okay. Alderman Erickson?
I just have a question. I noticed in my neighborhood that several people parked theirs in the curb. Should they be on the terrace or should they be in the curb? Is there a right or wrong for doing that?
We prefer to see them on the apron or on the terrace, not in the roadway. In some circumstances, depending on the width of the driveway and ability for the resident to get in and out, the roadway might be their only option, but we'd prefer the terrace.
Okay.
Greg told me for them to be on a terrace and the driveway apron, but they are in the road.
All right. Thank you.
Alderman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. One thing I noticed, it said try and get your carts or have your carts out there before 6:30, something like that. What time can you put it out the day before? I know we have an ordinance about that, but some people say, well, I can't run that out there that early. And I said, well, you could put it out the night before.
Believe ordinance is after 4 p.m. the day before.
All right. And then the second thing I had is to remind citizens to put their leaves on the terrace as opposed to in the street. My neighborhood is notorious for putting in the street, and then it clogs up the gutters, and the DNR especially wants us to keep things away from running down the storm drain.
That's correct.
Leaf collection is technically underway, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And city's divided up into 4 areas. Go on your recycling guide and the newsletter, and those are in there, and it's also on the website. And something. They'll make 4. I think each area gets picked up at least 4 times, and then depending upon weather, we'll continue to do it. But I will say this: we lost a lot of leaves during the last rain and wind. So, Alderman Lundrum.
Thank you, Director Kaiser. I think I've heard some mention about on the map when you've got a divider street, the odd even side can be different on the pickup days. Is that going to be indicated on lines somewhere?
So you're talking about the refuse collection map?
Yes, where you've got the divider street, and then it's right on that street, and then the other side of the street's on a different.
Sure. I guess, how do you mean online? It's available online. The map is.
Right, but you can't tell which side of the street. You know what I mean? Like if you look at this map.
Okay, well, I'm looking at a map here. We've got the heavy bold line along the boundary between the days.
Yeah, I just had some people talk to me that they're the opposite side of the street, even though it's the same street, was on a different
Certainly it
schedule.
could. I mean, we have that right now.
Right, but is it clear on here for them?
Okay. I'll talk to you afterward if you want to show me where you're looking.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Anything more on garbage?
We could go on all night.
Okay, well, like I said, it's dying down already, and hopefully it'll get better. And I'm sure we'll have some things to learn and deal with in the winter when we have snowbanks. We have plows go through after they're out there and things like that. This is nothing that Menashe has been doing it. We can do it. Don't tell Don I said that. But,
that's what you get for not eating that Neenah frosting.
So no, Menashe has been doing it a long time, and they're doing it successfully. Also, under unfinished business, I just want to tell the council there are a lot of things going on. A lot of discussions on GIS. We're meeting regularly on GIS issues, and we're developing. Chris is kind of leading that and leading some other issues with regards to IS. the ERP discussions. We had given indications, I believe, for October 29th. Correct, Mike? That we try to bring something back, or Jerry, or not Jerry, Joe. We want to make sure that we have all the. It's a big issue, and the game has kind of changed because the company now, instead of doing fixed-based licensing and all that, everything's going to the cloud. So now they've come up with different packages and different proposals and things like that. So, I don't know, Mike, if you want to add anything, but the simple fact is Joe is negotiating with them on these packages that have recently changed and how the city is going to utilize these software packages and modules and that, where it used to be like in-house on your computer hardware. It's now going to be all in the cloud. So we may not be ready on 29th. Is that correct? Good way to explain it? I like that. Chris?
The best analogy that I can think is the way we used to buy the software was an a la carte option where we bought this particular module with the maintenance. Now they are going to a menu option where we're getting with some ability to do substitutions. So we want to make sure that what we're getting with our order is actually going to meet our needs here. And it needs, and I quite frankly, it came out of the conversation that this group had, this council had at their last meeting relative to making sure we were getting what we wanted and that things were properly vetted. So that's where we're at.
So that group is also meeting weekly. So you have these staff that are trying to vet this so that they can get you the best possible. Lastly, I'm finishing up my budget, and if the Brewers went so late last night, we might have got done, but hopefully we'll finish that up tonight. Just the narrative. Mike has all the numbers pretty much put together. The plan is to, if things go well, to have the narrative or to have the executive summary for council members on Friday. I had said Monday, but Mike keeps telling me Friday, so you'll have it then, the executive summary, and then next week, hopefully sometime, get all the details line by line. And then, with that being said, one of the things we'd like to discuss under new business, so if is there any other unfinished business? Under new business, Alderman Stevenson and I and Mike and I think Tammy have had some discussions on the workshops. Todd, you want to talk?
Sure. We received some responses from council members, not as many as I would have thought, but the assumption would be that those that didn't respond are probably available on the dates that we had suggested. So here we discussed it tonight. We finalized the dates enough to present them to you tonight. I'll follow up with an email tonight. Mike's going to now, since we have the dates somewhat finalized, we're going to schedule the individual departments based on their availability. So we will be doubling up finance and public services on the 29th. So the October 30th meeting of the Public Services and Safety Committee will happen on Monday the 29th, and we'll go from 5:30 to 9:30 with a full-blown budget workshop session on the 30th. Follow that up with the Thursday of that week, November 1st, tentatively from 6 to 10. On November 5th, from 5:30-ish to 9:30-ish on the 5th. This Monday, yep. 6th is the election day. And so we'll try to get out early on Monday night so those working the polls will have a decent time to get home. Workshop session then after council on the 7th. And if additional time is needed, we would look at Thursday the 8th. So I'll get that out in an email to you guys, to the whole council tonight. And Mike will be contacting individual departments. I know Park and Rec had some issues one of those weeks. So now that we have the dates kind of finalized, he can put the rest of the puzzle together. Any comments or questions? The public hearing is scheduled for the 13th. Yes, I said Jane asked if I said the 30th. So our first workshop session will be on the 30th when we currently have a public services and safety meeting scheduled. We'll move that to Monday. We'll do roughly 5:30, 9:30. Oh, some people work till 5. Sooner we can start, the better. But we also want to be sensitive to the balance between work life, your life, and your municipal life. So we will be flexible with that.
So those are the dates that are tentatively out there. Does anyone have any problems with those dates?
Monday 11th, November 5th, I can't be.
Okay.
And then beyond the workshop, and if someone has to miss one workshop, and if you have specific questions that you'd like to submit, anyone, if you're not going to be there or you're going to be late, if there's a question you'd like to submit, get it to Alderman Stevenson or myself, and we'll ask the question for you of that department, so you get the answer, okay?
Or you can ask the department head directly yourself.
Or you can ask the department directly. And then in addition to the workshops, the other thing that I talked about today is just to keep in mind or start thinking about, so that November 13th would be the public hearing. Of course, then the 17th is deer hunting. So November 20th would be our next, 21st would be our next council meeting. That's the night before Thanksgiving. And so I don't think we want to meet the night before Thanksgiving because we'd have travel plans and such like that. So if we need a council meeting for the 21st, my suggestion would be to move the council meeting to Tuesday, November 20th. So keep that in mind. Or we could do Monday the 19th. We could do Monday the 19th or Tuesday the 20th.
The other issue is with the budget hearing schedule for the 13th. We're also scheduled for public services and safety that evening. So we may want to double up again on Monday. We may just, if the agenda is relatively light, we could have public services, half hour early or something, and dovetail right into the public hearing.
It's possible we may not need a meeting, on the 20th. We'll see what the agenda is.
The other thing we have to keep in mind is our recording. Dan was talking to me tonight that with Menasha's, they do Menasha's budget hearings and their meetings as well. We would have to check to make sure we could get someone to record the meetings. Keep all of that in mind when we're planning this.
Well, we would just bump Menasha. But so those are some of the things to think about. Thanksgiving's early this year. The earliest it could possibly be Thursday, November 22nd. So, there's just, we'll keep you informed because we know you have other things going on in that. But it's important to try and get this nailed down. I know previous years, someone or Marge or someone has kind of coordinated a light lunch or something or sandwiches or snacks. So Todd or Marge want to do that, but somebody or people have offered. People have offered.
Let
so
me know what you want.
people have offered to bring something because it is a long day. Everyone works all day, and then they get done at 5 o'clock. They rush here. They don't get time to eat, and so we want to make sure everyone's okay. So talk to Marge or me or Todd or someone, and we'll try and figure out a little light snack for everyone that night so that they stay upright. And other than that, I know, Carrie, you have one thing. I do want to, do you have anything with regards to the election, Patty or Lori? The elections, early voting is very, very busy. There, at some point, I believe we're going to move that into here. Is that correct?
That'll be Friday, this Friday. 19th.
So this Friday, October 19th, early voting is going to be moved into the council chambers because it's just getting too busy and too congested in the clerk's office. And so in early voting for people at home, you can come in Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 4:30, and on Fridays you can come in till 4 o'clock. Go ahead, Patty, you give them the rest of the stuff.
Then on Thursday and Friday, November 1st and 2nd, we will be open till 5 p.m. The reason we're not moving to the council chambers before Friday is because of tonight's council meeting and tomorrow night's League of Women Voters Forum. If we moved all the voting stuff in here, I'd have to move it out each night. I was kind of holding off until Friday. We desperately need to move in here. So it will be Friday. Really could be before, but I don't want to have to go through moving everything. So Friday is a definite.
So just for people at home, Friday, November 2nd will be the last day of early voting, correct? Yes. But we always, all the time, we get a lot of people who call or come in on Monday before election and they ask to vote. You cannot early vote that Monday before the Tuesday election. Early voting will end Friday at 5 o'clock, okay? So if you see anyone, but, when we have all the new polling places, we have ordered a couple of these tents, those white carport type tents, to put outside a couple of the polling stations because they don't have a lot of area to wait inside the building. So we're trying to make this as comfortable as possible in case of inclement weather. So Pat Fisher is going to put those out to make sure people, if they do have to stand outside and wait, they're at least under some cover. So enough said about that. Alderman Lundrum.
I'll just talk to the council president after. I'm fine.
Okay. Alderman Bates.
I'm feverishly adding these dates to my calendar. The public hearing on November 13th on a Tuesday?
Always on a Tuesday.
And then we have the council next night.
No.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything to add?
I just have a question on Monday for the budget, or for the finance and public service and safety. Did we determine the times for both of those?
We're going to let you and Marge deal with that.
Okay.
We expect to have transportation fee discussion that night, so guess we'll talk as far as staff, and we'll make some suggestions to the two chairpersons, and you can decide who goes first and who goes second. We'll try to keep the agendas as light as possible so that we're not here late. Okay? All right, anyone else have anything? Under new business? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Lundrum, seconded by Council President Stevenson for adjournment. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. That's ordered. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin, Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.